Still trending tonight, Washington's football team wins its first home opener in 6 years. There were a lot of doubters. This is one of them, but one former star player turned NFL analyst, he had the home team pulling out the win against the Eagles all along. I talked with legendary linebacker Levar Arrington today about the surprise win.
So, Levar, let me ask you this. You stunned me when I'm looking at Facebook, and you're the only one who said you had predicted that the Burgundy and Gold would win this game. What did you see that we didn't see?
Matchup-wise, I thought that the Redskins' defense matched up really well against the Philadelphia offense. And even though it didn't really show early on in the game, I was impressed at the way they won. Now, I will say this. I did not predict the way that they won. I did not think that they could come back from that big of a deficit. But nonetheless, the difference was they got shut out in the second half. That defense gave them a true opportunity to climb back into the game, and that's what they were able to do. And obviously with the turnovers, key turnovers, it just gave them the opportunity to get back into the game. So that was what I felt confident leaning on going into my prediction for the game.
Okay. Let's stay on the defense just for a second here. Is our defense this good, or we just had the right matchup with the Eagles? We've been talking about this defense. We were expecting them to be really good last year, but with the addition of Chase Young, can they be something special?
In historic terms, there have been some really, really good defenses that have hit the field for the Washington football team, but it just has to be something that they build on the consistency of how good that they can be, and the team finds a stride that they've only been able to find a few times. So, but they do have the potential to be a very, very highly rated outfit on the defense side of the ball.
Now, we talked about the QB, Dwayne Haskins. LeVar tells me, it's way too early to compare Haskins to Alex Smith, even though their numbers were similar compared to what he put up yesterday. And he says it's way too early, if not crazy, to even think about comparing him to Cam Newton.